Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to show you the actual cost of $5,000 of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 53-year-old male. Now, the first thing I suggest is actually just go over to our website at funeralfunds.com, and you can actually find these quotas on just about every page on our website, and just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount you would like, and then put your birthday info and other info. Click Get Quotes Now, and it will take you to a page that's going to show you all the best insurance companies with all the lowest pricing. And what that will allow you to do is to avoid that garbage you see advertised on TV and in magazines where they offer you a super low teaser rate, and then you get on the phone and it's so little coverage that they try to upsell you to get more money out of you. Also, it will prevent you from getting stuck with those plans that have 2-year waiting periods that can be like up to 200% more expensive in some cases. So yeah, just be a smart shopper. We can help you be that smart shopper. You can also call us at 888-862-9456. Now, the first thing you should probably ask yourself if you're a 53-year-old male looking for this type of insurance is, is that $5,000 you're looking for, is that going to be enough for your final expense needs? And final expense would typically be either a cremation or a burial. Now, the actual cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. So what we would typically recommend coverage-wise for that is between $5,000 to $7,000. Now, you're probably going, well, it's only $2,000, but you're recommending $5,000. Yeah, but you're 53 years old. We're hoping you make it to 63, 73, 83. So we want to make sure that we have a little extra insurance in there to allow for inflation and pricing going up over time. And adding a little coverage in just takes care of that problem. The other thing it does is, God forbid you died a little bit sooner than you thought unexpectedly, there's a little extra money in there just to take care of any other final expenses or medical bills or something like that. So your family's not burdened with that. Now, if you're going to be cremated and have a ceremony, that would be typically between $3,500 to $4,500. So if that were the case, we'd probably recommend between $7,000 to $10,000. Now, if your budget's a little tight, if you're on a fixed or limited income, you can look at smaller amounts, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, whatever it would be. And keep in mind, we can always help you add more coverage later. So this is very flexible. Now, one thing we don't recommend typically is sometimes people will call up and say, hey, I want $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 worth of coverage because I want to leave some money to my kids. And we typically caution against that because most of the people we help are on a fixed or limited income. And what we hate to see is somebody go, well, if I can't do $50,000, I'm not going to do anything at all. And your family is the one that suffers, or your loved ones are the one that suffers because they're the one that are going to have to pay this when you're gone and put it on their credit card. So we greatly encourage people to use this insurance for its intended purpose, final expenses. And if you do have the financial means to get more coverage to provide for your kids, we can certainly help you out with that. But that's totally up to you. Now, for a burial, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. So if you walk into a funeral home with a $10,000 check, they're typically going to work with you on it. It's not going to be a fancy funeral. I can guarantee that. Not for $10,000. But we find it kind of hard to imagine that they would say no and allow you to walk out the door and walk down to one of their competitors who would take your $10,000. So just understand that's kind of the cost that it is right now. If you're age 53, we would typically recommend anything between $10,000, $15,000, and $20,000. Now, if you're on a tight budget and things are a little tight right now, get the $10,000. We can always add another $5,000 or $10,000 later. And if your financial situation's a little bit better and you can get a little bit more coverage, we can certainly help you out with that at this time too. Now, the one thing we always recommend is first aid coverage or benefits. And what that means is hypothetically, if your policy were approved and issued today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to pay that $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000, whatever it would be. Now, we talked about the $10,000 being the burial, but why would you be looking at $5,000 if that's not even enough? Well, hopefully you've seen that you'll need more, but a lot of times people may have bought 5,000 or 10,000 years ago. It was enough at the time, and now they need a little bit more coverage. So it's fairly common that we see people coming in asking for an additional $5,000 worth of insurance. But yeah, that first day coverage is really important. We do not recommend 2-year waiting periods at all. I'll talk about that in a minute. But people say, I like the first day coverage, but I know those applications ask health questions, and I'm not in the best of health. And to that, we just say, hey, that's our concern, not your concern, at least from an insurance standpoint. That's why we work with so many different insurance companies, because they all have different health questions. They all have different underwriting criteria. And 95% of the time, we are able to get people first day coverage or benefits. Now, the only reasons we couldn't is if you had some really significant health issues, like maybe you had a terminal illness and you were going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you're on dialysis, or you were in a hospital or a nursing home, something like that. If that's the case, we would typically refer you out to a different company. Another thing that seems to happen every week is we get a call from somebody and they say, hey, we had a family member or loved one pass away this last week. They didn't have insurance. We don't have money. And their body's at the funeral home. And the funeral home director's not going to do anything until he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance right away so we can get a check in our hand to get the funeral home director paid. And we have to let them know there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to offer and issue a policy on a dead person. You have to be alive to qualify for this insurance. And it's really terrible, but that the person who died didn't have this taken care of. They knew they were going to die someday. They probably were going to get this insurance someday. And then someday just came a little bit sooner than they thought. And now their family and loved ones are just going to be burdened with this. And really, in most cases, people have to put it on their credit cards at like 26% interest. And they're paying off your funeral for years and years and years to come. And it's an incredible financial burden. And it's just a terrible thing to put people that you love, to put them through that. So don't be that person. Get this insurance. It's affordable. None of us knows when we're going to die. Could be in 20 minutes, could be in 20 years. But that's where this insurance and this first day coverage really protects families. So protects your legacy too, because you don't want people thinking, of your name, and every time your name comes up and they're going, oh, we're still paying off his funeral, right? Don't be that person. So we don't recommend the 2-year waiting period plans. So Colonial Penn is, I guess, maybe one of the more well-known. I think just because they advertise so much, it seems like their $9.95 commercials are on TV every 7 minutes. But yeah, that $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period. Ouch. I bet you didn't know that. And there's other companies out there that have 2-year waiting periods. Let's see, that'd be Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber, just a bunch of other ones too. And, some of these companies have done an amazing job of convincing the American public that if you're over age 50, the only thing you'll qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period. To which we always say, I don't believe such nonsense, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Yeah. So yeah, don't fall for that. Now, a lot of 53-year-olds watching Colonial Penn's TV commercial would probably be thinking, man, at age 53 for only $9.95, I could probably get, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. Well, I'm 53. I probably get 50,000 for $9.95. And then they go online or they check with one of the agents or look on their website like we've done for you here. And a male age 53 for 1 unit of coverage, $9.95, it's only going to pay out $1,515. That's probably going to pay for a cremation right now in most parts of the country, except for one thing. This plan's got a 2-year waiting period, and it's not going to pay a penny in the next 2 years if you die of a health or medical reason. Yeah. So why would you do that? Kind of interesting. And the other thing too is, some people would say that, companies out there that offer really low rates, they're called teaser rates. They're really low rates. And they advertise those. They often say that, that's intended just to get your interest, just to get you to call in. And then when you call in, you'll find out how little coverage there is. and then the company's going to try to upsell you. And we're not saying that that would ever happen with Colonial Penn, but some people might be inclined to believe that. I guess you can make your own determination on that. But let's see if we can't get $5,000 out of here. They have per unit pricing, so you can't buy $5,000 on the nose through Colonial Penn because they sell by unit. That's the only way they can come up with the $9.95 price per unit. So that's why you always end up with these kind of wackadoodle numbers like 15,000 or $1,515. So let's see, 3 units, is that going to be, okay, so 3 units is about 4,500. 4 units is 6. See, there's such huge jumps with Colonial Penn. It's frustrating sometimes for folks. We do hear that. I guess we'll kind of go with the one, well, yeah, we'll just go with this one here. So let's jump over and see what first day coverage would be for $5,000 for a male age 53. And we're going to click get quote. And again, we're 53 for 29 for 45. But even at that, look at this. You know, it's $16 for 5,000. So $16 roughly for 5,000. Or would you rather pay almost $30 for 4,500? And this is fairly common. In most cases, we're seeing Colonial Penn is, right around 200% higher than first day coverage. So why would you ever do that? Why would you purposely overspend on a policy? And Colonial Penn will make you overpay on that policy for the rest of your life, and they will sock you with that 2-year waiting period as well. So yeah, just be a smart shopper. If you're not a smart shopper, get in touch with us. We can help you be a smart shopper. But that's like, roughly probably going to be $15 more a month, which is right around $1,800 a year, $1,800 roughly a year. If you live 10 years from age 53 up to age 63, you'll have overpaid about $1,800. If you live 20 years, you'll overpay $3,600 on a $5,000 policy. So why would you ever do that when you can go with a company like this that we can help you with and get level? Level means first day coverage. So yeah, be a smart shopper. Let's look at some of these other companies. We're around $16. Oh, let's see. Even these companies that are $5 more, that's $60 more a year. You can overpay $600. Why overpay? Let's keep going here. You'll be able to see all these different insurance companies. Like here's Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess, but look at their pricing. It's almost as much as Colonial Penn. So about $25. And it's level coverage, so it's first day coverage. That's good, but it is more expensive. So Lincoln Heritage has a thing where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2 or 3 different funeral homes to get the lowest pricing. Maybe you do a couple other things, but you pay more for that. It's not free. So that is roughly about $10 more a month. Let's go back up here and look. Oh, it's more than that. Yeah. Anyway, roughly about $10 a month. So let's just do kind of the easy math. That's $120 a year. It's an extra $1,200 roughly after 10 years. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth paying an insurance company and, over $1,000, maybe roughly around $1,200 to phone 2 or 3 funeral homes and maybe do a couple of other things that only takes an hour or so probably to do? And a lot of people would say that's a pretty good payday for the insurance company. And I think we would tend to agree, and we would rather see you keep that money in your own pocket rather than give that to an insurance company. So what we do is we actually provide a free funeral and estate planning guide, and you can download that off our website and print it out. And then once you have it printed out, you just fill out who gets what and what goes where and what you want done after you're gone. And then once you're done with that, you keep it with your insurance policy. And now when you pass away, your family's not only going to be protected financially with the insurance policy, but also emotionally, because you've taken care of everything in advance. They don't have to worry about a thing. They will just follow your instructions, and they will know that they're doing everything exactly as you intended. And they will also know that you were protecting them well in advance. You were thinking about them at a time when you were alive and protecting them at a time when you would no longer be with them. And I tell you what an ultimate gift of love, and what a wonderful legacy to leave behind, that right up until the very end, you were protecting your family. So go to funeralfunds.com. We've got a special quote for our YouTube visitors, funeralfunds.com/YouTube, where you can get the lowest rates and the best prices. You can also call us at 888-862-9456. One of our agents can help you out with that. And if you have an existing policy and you want us to price shop it to make sure you got the best deal, we can do that. If you want to add coverage to your policy, we can do that. And if you want brand new insurance or just have some questions, we can certainly help you out with that too. But we look forward to helping you get the most amount of insurance for the least amount of money. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, and we will always be here ready to help you. You take care. Bye-bye.